In 2026, online privacy is no longer a feature you turn on. It's a constant battle against systems that are designed to observe first and ask permission later, and nowhere is this more visible than the moment you boot up your Windows machine and connect to the internet, because from that second onward, your device starts talking. Windows sends telemetry, diagnostics, crash reports, app behavior, typing data, and system identifiers back to Microsoft by default, not because it's malicious, but because the operating system itself has become a data-driven platform, which means your privacy loss doesn't begin in the browser, it begins at the OS level, where background services, scheduled tasks, advertising IDs, cloud sync, OneDrive integration, and AI-powered features silently map your behavior unless you deliberately shut them down through privacy settings. And even then, Windows still sees enough to build patterns.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
And once you go online, the next layer of exposure begins with DNS, the most ignored but most revealing part of internet privacy, because every time you type a website name, your system doesn't magically know where to go. It sends a DNS query asking, "Where is this site located?" And by default, that question goes straight to your ISP, which means your internet provider can see every domain you visit, even if the site itself is encrypted. So privacy in 2026 means taking control of DNS resolution by switching from ISP DNS to privacy-focused resolvers like Cloudflare's 1.1.1.1, which works by encrypting DNS queries using DNS over HTTPS or DNS over TLS so that your browsing intentions are no longer visible to the ISP. And when you configure Cloudflare DNS at the system level in Windows, or use the official Cloudflare Warp app, Cloudflare Warp isn't just a VPN, it's a privacy and performance tool that works by encrypting your internet traffic at the device level and routing it through Cloudflare's network, which prevents your ISP local networks or potential eavesdroppers from seeing your DNS queries or the sites you visit. Warp doesn't give full anonymity, but it reduces exposure, prevents passive surveillance, and can improve connection speed by intelligently routing traffic. It integrates easily with mobile and desktop devices, works silently in the background, and pairs well with privacy-focused browsers and password managers, giving you a layer of network-level protection without the complexity of traditional or manual configuration. You're not hiding traffic content, but you are hiding the questions your system asks, and that alone breaks massive amounts of tracking, profiling, and behavioral analysis, especially when combined with browser-level protections. And this is where most people misunderstand privacy, thinking extensions alone are enough, while their operating system, DNS, and network continue leaking metadata nonstop. The moment you open a browser, you're no longer just visiting the internet. You're stepping into an environment designed to observe, measure, and profile you, because modern browsers leak far more than pages. They leak behavior, patterns, and system details that form a digital fingerprint, which is why browser choice matters, as mainstream browsers are built around synchronization, data collection, and ecosystem lock-in. While privacy-focused browsers like Firefox and Brave are designed to limit trackers, reduce fingerprinting, and give you control over what runs instead of silently allowing it. But a privacy browser alone isn't enough, because identity loss often happens at the login level, where weak, reused passwords turn accounts into permanent tracking anchors, which is why a password manager like Bitwarden becomes essential, generating unique passwords for every site, storing them encrypted, and breaking the habit of reusing credentials that link your online identity together. And once that foundation is set, extensions complete the defense. With uBlock Origin, blocking surveillance scripts before they execute, Privacy Badger detecting and killing trackers that follow you across sites, Clear URL, stripping tracking junk from links before requests are sent, and multi-account containers, separating work, personal, and research activity into isolated browser environments, preventing your actions from being merged into a single behavioral profile. Backup privacy is the layer most people ignore until it's too late, because while they harden browsers and lock down accounts, their most sensitive data quietly lives unencrypted in cloud backups, external drives, or forgotten folders, which means real privacy requires treating backups as long-term exposure points, not safety nets, by encrypting data before it ever leaves your system, using strong client-side encryption so even the service storing it can't read it, limiting automatic cloud backups to non-sensitive data, and keeping truly private files in offline storage like encrypted external drives that stay disconnected when not in use, because offline storage breaks the attack chain entirely by removing constant network access, reducing the risk of breaches, ransomware, account takeovers, and silent data scanning. And when combined with regular integrity checks, multiple backup copies stored in separate locations, and a clear understanding of what actually needs to be backed up. Device encryption and physical security are your last line of defense because if someone gains physical access to your laptop or phone, software privacy controls mean nothing unless the data itself is locked. Full disk encryption ensures stolen or lost devices remain unreadable, while strong passwords, secure boot, and disabling automatic logins prevent attackers from bypassing protections. Physical security habits, like locking devices, avoiding shared accounts, and being cautious with USBs or public charging ports, matter just as much because many compromises happen hands-on. At the end of the day, online privacy isn't about disappearing from the internet or living in fear. It's about understanding how systems observe you and choosing where you draw the line because every layer you control, your device, your browser, your network, your backups, reduces how much of you is exposed by default. And once you start thinking this way, privacy stops feeling complicated and starts feeling intentional. If this video helped you see online privacy differently or gave you even one habit you're going to change today, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment below with the one privacy move you're making right after this video. Stay aware, stay in control, and I'll see you in the next one.